Hi friends, I'm Victoria. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today, it's Friday, so you know what that means, start of a new reading vlog. This week, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this one because this one is all witches. I have so many books checked out from Libby that are all witchy books. It is October, well, today it's September 29th, so we're over this weekend, we're heading into October. It's the start of Halloween month. I just thought, what better of a way to kick it off than with just reading a ton of witchy books. And also tonight we're driving up to the mountains. We're going to Steamboat Springs and we are staying in a little cabin. So we're gonna have a little spooky cabin in the mountains fall weekend. We're gonna see some really amazing leaves. We're gonna go leaf peeping. We also are gonna go to the hot springs. So I am so excited. We're gonna have an amazing weekend and it's just gonna be so much fun. Also, if you've been following my vlogs, you might have saw recently where I was struggling, had a bit of a breakdown in a vlog about trying to find a job, and I am so excited and happy to say that I got an offer this morning. So a little life update there. I'm very excited about it, and I'm like 99% sure I'm gonna accept the offer because they seem just like the nicest people. So I'm in the best mood ever, can you tell? And I just got off a call with them, so I look a little fancy. I wanna say thank you so much to everyone who sent me messages and that were like super kind in my last vlog where I was struggling a little bit and had a bit of a breakdown. So I just want to say thank you, and you know, something better did come along. I just had to believe in myself and be patient and just keep putting myself out there, and it worked. I'm just so happy. Let's talk about the books that I'm going to be reading over the weekend and into early next week. Now the first one, this was on my fall wish list, and that is The Year of the Witching. This is about a woman who lives in a puritanical society. It's a very rigid, intense society. It says that the prophet's word is law. But our main character, she's mixed. She feels how, you know, of an outcast she is, and she just like is striving to be as devout and follow all of the rules and the prophet's law exactly, just to be like the best version that she can be, which already that sounds like alone the best plot ever. But then I'm just gonna read this because this explains it way better than I ever could. But it says, a mishap lures her into the forbidden dark wood surrounding Bethel, where the first prophet once chased and killed 4 powerful witches. Their spirits are still lurking there, and they bestow a gift on Emmanuel, the journal of her dead mother, who Emmanuel is shocked to learn once sought sanctuary in the wood. Fascinated by the secrets in the diary, Emmanuel finds herself struggling to understand how her mother could have consorted with the witches. She begins to learn grim truths about the church and its history. She realizes that the true threat to Bethel is its own darkness, and she starts to understand that if Bethel is to change, it must begin with her. This sounds so good. I think this is mostly fantasy. It does describe it just a tiny bit horror, but I would kind of be shocked by that. But I love this whole premise. I love that we're bringing in the commentary here about race, as well as just witches in general and how her mom, you know, sought out these witches for help, and I can't wait to see how this goes full circle. The next one I am for sure going to read is Gallows Hill by Lois Ruby. Now there's another book called Gallows Hill by another person named Lois, and this one's Lois Ruby. There's also Gallows Hill by Darcy Coates, I think, so make sure you're looking at the right thing if you decide you want to read this one. It's by Lois Ruby. But this one's a new release and it is YA, and it's like a historical fiction, but we have lots of witchy stuff going on here. It is set in Salem, Massachusetts, late 1600s, which of course already I'm like, that's exactly what I want. We have this boy who has a Quaker, and he's already kind of having a hard time fitting in Salem with his beliefs because he is a Quaker, everyone's a Puritan there, and he ends up staying with a strange lady that lives in the town that people have been saying is a witch, and he ends up staying with her because he is an orphan and she takes him in. So we have that area of it, and then we have another character, her name's Patience, and she is talking about how her sister has come down with this strange affliction, and other girls within the town are also getting it, and people are suspecting that they are being bewitched, and then how things spiral. People start getting scared and hysterical and start thinking that witches are all around them. And our two main characters are like trying to discover the truth and hopefully save, you know, what is their town and their friends and their family. So I'm so excited about this. I am interested too, the take from like YA, because I haven't read a book about the witch hunt that was YA before. So I am pretty excited about that. And honestly, I don't see how this could be bad. So I'm excited. I did get an ARC from NetGalley with the ebook, but I have checked out the audiobook as well on Libby to listen to it while I read along. This is also super short. It's like 5 hours. Next is another one from my wish list, and that is The Glass Witch by Lindsay Puckett. Now this is a super short read. It is juvenile fiction, so keep that in mind. Sometimes I like throwing these in, especially around Halloween, just for the like nostalgic, cozy Halloween feelings, if that makes sense. But essentially we have this witch. She's not very powerful. She's not very good at what she does, and her mom has her stay in this place called Cranberry Hollow. That's so cute. And has her stay there for a few months, and within that, she's been forced to like enter the Halloween pageant. It's just like cute kid shenanigans. A super short read, so I think like one night or morning just knocking this out will be nice and cozy and perfect. I do have two more, and they are adult fiction, but I'm not sure if I'm going to read both of them. I would like to, but we shall see. The first one is Everyone Knows Your Mother is a Witch, and that is by Rivka Galshin, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Historical fiction, again, about witch trials, witchcraft, and essentially it says that the author drew from historical documents for this, so that's really exciting to me. But it is the year 1619. We're in a village in Germany. There's already a lot of tension around right now, but then people start hearing about witches. A girl named Katharina who's being accused of being a witch. It just sounds like how hysteria can happen, and this village spirals out of control. And then I think it's also mixed media. I think that we're getting some like different kind of documents in there as well, and then also her story, her POV, and then some of like the trial that she goes through, which I think is super interesting. I was looking at some of the reviews on this when I was like trying to decide for sure what to read this weekend, and some people were like, this is really slow, blah blah blah. I didn't like the trial back and forth, but I absolutely love that stuff. Like sometimes I'll just like sit and watch like trials on YouTube. What's her name? Emily, I can't remember her name. Her name's Emily something, but she is a lawyer, and she like does like the live streams of like pop culture trials. It's so fascinating to me. So I was like, this sounds right up my alley. I think that's just so fascinating about times in history where people just get scared and they start believing anything. And logic is just like thrown out the window. It's wild to me. So I'm hoping to get this read this weekend, and if not, I will probably, now I'm like, I should just extend this vlog, make this the longest reading vlog ever, and fit this in here. We'll see. We will see. Okay, the other adult one is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. I hope I say that correctly. I'm sure you've seen this. This has been everywhere. It's very popular, and I've only heard amazing things about it. It's supposed to be super cozy, but we have this witch, and she doesn't really know any other witches. She pretty much hides her abilities and doesn't like to let it be known that she is a witch. But then she gets this letter, and it's from this family that live at the Nowhere House, and they have 3 young witches that they want her to come teach. And so she goes there, and it's supposed to be like a story of found family, but I do think that something comes up that puts her newfound family at risk. So there's another element there to it, but I've heard this is just like the coziest book ever, and it's about witches. So what better time than to read it at Halloween time and in this witch vlog. I'm still finishing a book this morning. I have like 1 hour left. Then I'll get started on these witchy books. I might start with Gallows Hill just because it's super short. I can knock it out. I will update you along the way with my thoughts, what I'm liking, what I'm not liking, and hopefully have some really cozy, spooky cabin, woodsy fall ambiance throughout this video for you all too. And I can't wait to bring you along with me this weekend and into next week. I always call it a weekend, even though I film through like Tuesday usually. So I'm so excited. I will update you later. Hi friends, I'm sorry if you can hear the heat. It is on in our cabin, but we got a little tiny basic camping cabin at KOA up in Steamboat Springs, and it's awesome. We never stayed at one of these, and we got here and I was like, this is so perfect. It's just a cute little cabin. We do have heat and electricity, but there's no like kitchen or bathroom or anything, but they have those other things on premises. But yeah, I'll show you around. We got the door and we got a little table area. We have stuff everywhere. I set up a little coffee bar right there. And then we got our bed. And then our nightstand. And they have another little bunk bed, but I've just been putting stuff up there and putting Jasper's blanket right there, even though he's gonna be laying on the bed the whole time, I think. So yeah, it's so simple and so cute. But we also have like a porch swing, a grill, picnic table, like fire pit, all that stuff too. And yeah, compared to everywhere else in Steamboat Springs, this was the way to go. I love it. And yeah, I don't have any huge updates on the book. I'm not 50% in yet, but yesterday, I was running around everywhere just trying to get stuff ready, but it's pretty much exactly what the synopsis said so far. We have two characters. The boy, his dad passed away, now he's an orphan. They are new in town, and him and his sister are staying with this lady that people believe is a witch. She seems really great, but then our other character, Patience, her sister is like starting to be like, her sister is saying that she is being afflicted by a witch, and she's like naming someone in town, which is wild and messed up. So we're now at a time that they're doing a trial, and one of the witches kind of confesses under pressure and then implicates these two other women within the town. So there's this whole thing going on, just the back and forth, you know how it goes with like the witch trials. So, and just really just scaring them into submission pretty much, which is so sad. But that's pretty much all that's going on right now. The guy, he is just trying to like find a job and figure out what to do. And yeah, and people are like, you shouldn't be staying with this lady, but they really have no other option, and she seems like a good person. So that's where I'm at so far. I'm not sure how much more reading I'm gonna get done today, honestly. Maybe later tonight, but I will update you later.
That's cold, all right.
Say hi. Hi friends, it's Saturday night now, and today we just hung out around Steamboat shops and just like hung out downtown and walked around, and then we went to the hot springs and then got dinner, and now I'm back home. I did read a bit more of Gallows Hill, and now we're at the point where our two main characters have met, but Patience's sister, Abigail, is still wilding out, making these wild accusations, and has started to say that the lady that Thomas is staying with, she's like saying that she's a witch and has visited her in the night. So, which isn't true. And the lady that Thomas and his sister are staying with is like super old. Like, she is not great, not super well, and really wouldn't be able to do anything at all. And that's what's so sad about it. And, you know, now we're spiraling. Things are getting worse. People are just accusing others, and people are being executed when they do not deserve to be. So I honestly have no idea where this is going to go. I know that, of course, Thomas and his sister are like, this is wrong. But they're like outside of like the puritanical mindset because they are Quakers. But Patience has been skeptical of her sister this whole time, and she's also feeling bad about what's going on. So I wonder if like they're gonna end up working together, try to make things better. I don't know, but it's looking a little dire right now, honestly. So ambiance is great. Also the language, like, it's reading very like you know, old-timey, like they say like the old blah blah blah, you know what I mean? So I'm liking that a lot, and I do like our like main characters a whole lot. Patience is great, and she's, you know, considering the nuance behind everything that's going on. And then Thomas and his sister are really great as well. And then I love the little old lady that they're staying with. She's actually really funny, has a lot of spunk, and I hope that they don't do anything bad to her. I'm worried. So but so far so good. I am really liking it, and for like a spooky witchy read, it's pretty good. But yeah, I will update y'all later. Hi friends. Okay, so last night I did finish Gallows Hill. Sorry, let me stop swinging. Last night I did finish Gallows Hill, and I did really like it. I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. It is a YA, and you know, about the witch trials, so it wasn't super different or unique. I think that was like just the main thing. It was pretty much a standard story of the Salem witch trials, but I really loved our characters here. I think I mentioned the old lady last night. She had a ton of spunk, and I really enjoyed her character too. And I liked how everything ended up going. I think this is a very good option for children who, I wouldn't say children, but like maybe middle school to high school, that are interested in the witch trials and want like a intro into it. I think it's a very good intro into that arena. But yeah, it was pretty standard, but overall I had a good time. Characters were great, so I can't complain. I gave it 3.5 stars. Yeah, we just got everything packed up this morning from the little cabin that we're in, and I started the Year of the Witching, and I am absolutely loving it so far. I've been sitting here reading it, and our main character, Emmanuel, she her mother passed during birth, and she had been with someone, an outsider of their religion, and someone with dark skin, and our character Emmanuel, she is mixed, trying to be as good of a, you know, follower of the religion as she can be. It's very interesting. This religion is like, they have prophets, and the prophets take multiple wives, and her very good friend is about to go be married off one of the sons of the prophets, I guess, and he will be ending up, and he will eventually take over as the main prophet. But his name is Ezra, and Ezra seems kind of interested in our girl Emmanuel, and he seems to kind of be a little progressive, I would say. He is laughing at these jokes about witches and saying things and reading books that he probably shouldn't read, and so I'm interested to see where that's gonna go, because I would like to see this religion not be as strict, because it sounds a little spooky right now. But our main character, Emmanuel, she, you know, there's all these rumors about her mother going to the woods and being a witch. People for sure look down on her. And it also goes into like the witches, and how like Lilith and like these different witches kind of came to be, and how they're in this dark wood. And then our girl Emmanuel, she lives with this family called the Moore family. We're pretty high up within their colony at one point, but they've had issues with birth, and the woman that he married, she has had one girl and then has had a ton of stillbirths since then, and then now the whole like colony thinks that like she's cursed or like there's something wrong with them, and they have like fallen down the ranks now, which is absolutely horrifying and terrible. And they are strapped for money, they are struggling, and Emmanuel has been staying with them. So, and they seem like a really nice family overall, but they are just struggling right now, and they have like a ox. Is it an ox or a sheep? Yeah, an ox, I would say. And they're like, you have to go sell this. So she takes it to this village, this outside village, to go sell it, and she can't find a taker. And then when she's walking back along the woods, on the edge of the forest, he kind of freaks out on her and runs into the woods, and she's like, oh no, this is like all we have left to like survive. I have to go after him and save him. And then she stumbles across these strange women in the woods, having a little bit of fun, and they hand her a book. So that's where I'm at so far. I am loving it. The descriptions are amazing. The commentary so far is really good. So I can't wait to see where this goes. We are about to leave and head back to Denver. We are meeting Drew's dad and his wife at a brewery kind of outside of Denver. So we're going to do that. But on the way there, I'm going to be reading this book. And I think it'll probably take us like 2 to 3 hours to get back to that area. So I can't wait, and I will update you later. Hi friends. Okay, so we're back home now, and it took us quite a bit to get back to the Denver area from Steamboat. It took us a little over 3 hours. It was exhausting. And then we went to a brewery for a couple hours to see Drew's dad and his wife. So yeah, I'm pretty exhausted right now, but on the drive back, I did read a lot of the Year of the Witching. I want to say almost 75% in, or like between 60 to 75% in, and I am absolutely loving this book. It is so good. The descriptions, the characters, and it goes into like the really like witchy demon, like devil area, like with Lilith and these other like famous demon, what would they be called? They're not demons, but you know, hands of the devil, I guess. But it's so good. I think I actually was confused earlier when I was saying that, I think I mentioned that her friend Leah was going to be married off to the next prophet, who was Ezra, but she's not. I was confused. I think I was just kind of like not wanting to believe that this was what was happening in the book, but she's being married off to the prophet that is currently the prophet right now, who is this old man who is like barely alive, and she is only like 14 years old. So, and our main character Emmanuel was 17, and I was like confused. So Leah is 14, being married off to the prophet. Ezra, who kind of seems like he has a thing for Emmanuel and seems to be a bit of a rebel, is the prophet's son, and he's next in line. So he'll be the next prophet once this prophet passes away. But I was like, oh no, the prophet is marrying this child. Spooky. And so yeah, it's really interesting because they talk about witches and how these things have happened with witches in the past and how they would burn them. And really, I'm just like, do y'all not see like how horrible you all are in this little colony that you live in? Y'all are like following these horrible people. But I think that's kind of the deal with a lot of really extremist religions, you know what I mean? They like give the men all the power, and then they just take advantage of it, and it's really detrimental to everyone. But yeah, it's spiraled a bit more. I told you she had gone into the woods, like she followed that ox. Things have spiraled so much. I don't want to give anything away, so I'm going to be pretty vague with what's going on, but it seems that there have been some plagues that have started to happen, and some of them are like making people go crazy and hurting themselves and killing people, and as well as like water turning to blood. It's so good. There's so many things going on, and it's like, it's so different than what I anticipated. Like, there's definitely like a horror element to this that I did not think was going to happen. I thought this would be like mostly fantasy, but no, things are dire, things are scary, and the witches are actually like spooky, scary witches. But then you're like confused because I'm like, who is really the bad people here? Is it the people in this colony? Are the witches actually bad? Like, are they just good? Like, or has like the people in charge of this colony done something that has caused these witches to like rebel against them? You know what I mean? So I'm so interested to see what the truth actually is. Like, I'm close to the end and things just keep escalating. The atmosphere here is excellent. I love our characters, and I can't believe that this is how this book is. I just did not anticipate it to be as like spooky, scary, and like really intense with the witches. I feel like a lot of times books like this, it's like very light in the witchiness, you know what I mean? And we're getting it with this one. So I'm just so happy about it. I also love the commentary, like the feminist commentary about women and having kids, and you know, her family. I think I mentioned that she was staying with the Moore family, which it is technically her mom's side of the family, and just how they have like gone through a lot because of her mom, and just like they've been seen as like a cursed family pretty much, and how just things have spiraled for them, and how like the good people have been shunned, and then we have like people who of darker skin live on the outskirts and are looked down upon and kind of follow a similar religion, just not as intense. And she even talks about at one point she sees at their church on the outskirts, they have like stained glass out on their church, and the stained glass is of darker women, and she was like, wow, I've never seen like women that look like me represented that way. And it was just, yeah, it's just been so good. The atmosphere is amazing. We have the spooky woods, we have this old Puritan colony, we have the outskirts and these churches and libraries and all kinds of stuff, and I'm absolutely loving it. If you have read Slewfoot, you will 100% love this. And if you haven't read Slewfoot, you should 100% read that. It's so good. And these are like reminding me of each other a lot, because Slewfoot had that same thing where it was like, oh, this went intense and we went spooky with like how the witches are, and death and revenge, and I'm hoping that the witches are gonna kind of get their revenge too. Like, I don't know if they're really bad or not. Like, I don't want to think that they are bad. Like, I want them to be like getting justice, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm loving it. I am hopefully gonna finish it tonight. I am exhausted, I will say. I think it's like 7 p.m. now. Like, we got everything into the garage and like back upstairs to our apartment, and I threw in some laundry. Like, so tired. But I'm hoping to finish this tonight, and yeah, and I'll update you later. I'm so excited. It's so good. Yay! Hi friends. Okay, so I have finished The Year of the Witching, and I absolutely loved it. I'm close to 5 stars. I think I'm gonna give it 4.5. Love these characters. Like I said, I love the story. I love how the tie-in of witches is super intense and they are spooky, because a lot of times that does not happen with witchy books, so I appreciated that. And you know, the idea of this puritanical, very staunchly religious town of Bethel, and there's so many different factors that go into what is actually happening, and especially with our main character Emmanuel and her trying to find herself, figure out what's right, figure out who's wrong, and trying to decide what the right thing to do is. It was so good. I loved her story. I loved the tie-in of her family and of her dad's family as well, how these witchy plagues came to be and the truth behind it all. It was so good. My only downside was at the end, it felt a little bit rushed. Like, there was all this buildup in trying to find out what was going on and what the solution to all these plagues were going to be. And I do feel like the littlest bit of it was a bit rushed, especially like the epilogue. I was like, okay, this was like 2 minutes long. I would have liked just a little bit of snippet of more to just get a whole story of them afterwards, I guess. but more of a clue of how the city was going to be in the future, or if they were going to change it all and where our main characters were going to go. The spookiness is there. An amazing witch story. I love the tie-in of Lilith and these other classic witches. And what ends up happening is totally different than what I had envisioned or even could have imagined. So yeah, I feel like it was really unique in what it ended up doing, especially a lot of times with witch stories. They can feel pretty standard and not, you know, branch out as much as I would like, and this one felt definitely imaginative, and I appreciated that so much. And just overall, characters were great, the story was great, the spookiness was there, the atmosphere was there. I loved this puritanical village on the edge of the forest. I love the idea of this prophet who is scary in his own right and a big old mess, and just how this society, you know, plays into everything that he says, and even when it's at the harm of other people. The story progresses outside of just the witch story and the plagues. It was so good, and I overall highly recommend, especially for spooky season. If you are looking for a witchy book, please give this a read. I am really excited about it, especially, you know, it has diversity there, and that can be hard a lot of times with witchy books. I don't know a ton by Black authors, so this makes me very excited, and I just highly recommend it. Perfect way to kick off October. It is October 1st today, so might start another book next. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do The Glass Witch. That one's super short. I might even be able to knock it out tonight. And yeah, that's that like juvenile fiction one about the witch who goes to Cranberry Hollow. And yeah, I just think that sounds cute and a little bit of a lighthearted way to end this weekend. Hi friends, it's Monday. I did not end up reading any more last night. I watched a couple YouTube videos, well, like one YouTube video, and fell right asleep. So I did not read The Glass Witch. Today I accepted that job offer this morning, and so it's official, and I spent the morning like filling out some paperwork as well as like filling out the background check info for them. And then I edited a video, and then I just filmed a video. I just filmed my September wrap up. So I've been busy. Now it's 2:30. I haven't eaten lunch, so I'm gonna eat something real quick, and then I am going to clean. It's Monday now, but on Wednesday night we have friends coming over for a game night, so I'm going to try to get some cleaning done, and while I do that, I'm gonna listen to a book. I don't know if I'm gonna listen to The Glass Witch. I will give you an update once I have read a little bit more of something else. Okay friends, I just finished The Glass Witch, and wow, I loved it. It was just so cute and wholesome and charming. It's about this young witch, and her mom is taking her to go stay with her grandma because she's a traveling nurse, and she's going to be at a different location for 3 months. Our little witch is not the most powerful witch. She keeps talking about how she's not as powerful, and you know, really just talking down about herself and her powers, and she's pretty upset that her mom is leaving her in Cranberry Hollow. In this, they kind of have this little bit of an argument, and something happens that causes a curse to fulfill itself pretty much. And so there's like this curse with her family of witches and these witch hunters from back in the day. This curse is kind of like being fulfilled, and she has to save herself and her family as well as the town, and it's just so wholesome, so cozy. Also, all throughout this, she has met a new friend that I absolutely loved, and I loved their friendship, and I loved both of those characters a lot. And then there's also like a Halloween pageant, so we have the girls talking about their costumes, what they're going to wear in the pageant, and our main character is a little bit self-conscious. She's a little bit curvier, and she talks about that quite a bit, and just the story behind that and the message was really great. Overall, this is just like this cutest, spooky, wholesome read. I thoroughly loved it. These characters were written so well. They were also pretty funny. Like at the beginning, I laughed a lot for sure. overall what ends up happening I really enjoyed, and I love the ending, and overall I have no complaints with this. Like, it's almost a 5-star for me. I think I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars. Which is kind of crazy. I can't believe I'm giving such a good rating to like a juvenile fiction, but wow, this was just so, I don't know, it had all the feels that I was hoping to get from this, and just really wholesome and sweet and made my heart feel good. So I highly recommend it, especially if you have kids. Like, for sure read this with your kids, and to have like a little witchy magical read for the season. So yeah, I can't complain. It's also super short. I read it pretty quickly, so yeah, I loved it. Now I don't know what I'm gonna read. I have 2 options. I have Everyone Knows Your Mother is a Witch, and then A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I was trying to decide which one I wanted to read at least first, and I think I'm gonna go with The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, simply because I was looking at some of the reviews for both of them, and this one has amazing reviews, and the other one, Everyone Knows Your Mother is a Witch, is kind of split. Like, it seems like it's very much a book where people love it or hate it. So just to play it safe for right now, just for sure something that will fit into this vlog, I'm gonna go with the one that has the better rating, just because I want something good. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on that, and I will update you when I know a little bit more. Okay, so I am a little bit into The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches now, and so far I'm loving it. Very much cozy, atmospheric. We have this witch, and her name is Mika. Yeah, Mika. It starts off her going to like this quarterly meeting that she has with other witches. They just basically talk about new spells and kind of gossip. And Primrose is this older witch who is in charge of this group of witches, and she's also who kind of raised Mika. The thing with witches in this book is that once a witch is born, their parents do pass away, and then they all are orphans. So she was an orphan. This other witch, Primrose, raised her, and now she still has a good relationship with Primrose. And Primrose has all these like different roles, and basically is old and in charge and makes all these roles for the witches to follow. And Mika, she actually started up a social media like YouTube thing where she posts witchy videos, just acting like a witch, like pretending to be a witch. And it's really funny because they mentioned it's funny because they mentioned witchcore at one point. Because of these videos, this one family, they find her, and they ask her to come work for them and come stay at their house. And she's kind of between jobs, and she's like, well, this could work out because my lease is running out, and maybe I could go work at this house and stay there. So she goes there to meet them before she accepts this job, and she can tell there's something magical going on here. She can definitely feel the magic in this house, and the atmosphere of it is very good so far. It's a large estate, so I'm loving that aspect of it. But we essentially have these 3 young girls who are witches, and they need someone to teach them how to control their witchcraft and how to just control their power. And they have all been orphaned, so they are all not biological sisters, but they are sisters in this home. They are sisters now, and just 3 little witchy girls. I'm really liking the characters. There are like a gay couple that work at the house, helps take care of the girls, which I really enjoy. And then we don't know much about the person that owns the home, but we know that she has found all of these young witches after tragically losing their parents and has taken them in. It hasn't directly said that she's a witch, but I would assume she is, since she has been like finding these young orphaned witches. I am super excited to see where this goes. I know that it is kind of a story of found family. There is another character that we don't know a ton about. He's just kind of like not interested in them hiring Mika as a tutor or live-in witch to tutor the girls. So I wonder what's going to happen with him. But overall, so far, so good. And I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Hi friends, happy Tuesday. So I just got out of the gym. I went to a body pump class. Now I'm at Target because I have to get some cat food. But I wanted to update you all on the very secret society of irregular witches. I'm absolutely loving it. It is so cozy and wholesome. These characters, the girls are just so sweet and cute. And we have found out that a lot of times witches are not allowed to be together or live together simply because when there's more witches around, there's more power, and their power like feeds off of each other, so it can be dangerous. We also don't know a lot about Lillian, the woman that found these girls, and our main character Mika's really trying to find out more about her, as well as like some of these other people around the house, like and how they got into this arena with witches if they aren't witches themselves. And really it's just like such a different world than what she was raised in, because she was constantly moving, wouldn't have the same like nannies or tutors because they didn't want anyone to find out that she was a witch. So she's kind of flabbergasted by this world and this house where there is like basically a family and friends that these kids have and that she can possibly have too. It's just really sweet. The atmosphere is also really good. So far I'm absolutely loving it, and I can't wait to see where it goes. But I just wanted to give you a quick update. Hello friends, it is Wednesday now, and last night I did finish the very secret society of irregular witches, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it 4 stars. I thought about giving it 4.5, but I think 4 stars is good. When we last talked, I spoke about how Mika is there to teach these 3 younger witches, how to take control of their magic, and then we have these other characters that live in the house. The guy that she thinks is attractive is Jamie, and then Ian is actually one of the gay guys, the older gay guys. But you know, there's a bit of a romance, there's a bit of build up in that arena. So if you're into that, I think the romance is pretty good in this one. I liked our 2 characters. I liked them a lot together and how their relationship grew and changed, and even if there was an issue, it was resolved quickly. Like it was just like overall the whole book was very low stress, which I highly appreciated. Sometimes that's exactly what you want. And with this one, even from the synopsis, I had anticipated some really high stakes, and you know, overall I never felt stressed or like, oh no, this is a lot. It ended up just being this story of her building relationships with these people around her while, you know, trying to get over her previous issues with abandonment that she has had throughout her life being a witch. And in the end, there's actually a really decent twist, like something I just did not even think of or envision at all. So I was kind of surprised by it. Even when there were some points within the story where I was like, oh no, this is an issue, like on the story's part, like it was like, oh, we need to figure this out, or, you know, something has changed and like, how are we going to fix this? Or any like problems within the story for these characters, I felt not stressed, and I just knew that everything was going to work out. And it was just really nice to read and comforting and cozy. Like, it definitely is a cozy book. So if you're looking for something that's witchy and cozy, I highly recommend. I honestly kind of recommend this more for like holiday Christmas time rather than Halloween, simply because we do have quite a bit leading up to the holidays. Like, that's when her stint is. And then the climax is happening right around Christmas. Like, we have Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, the day after Christmas. That's when a lot of the climax and stuff goes down. So yeah, I definitely recommend it for that. And overall, it's just sweet, cozy. I love the message of found family and these little girls. One of them does give Mika some issues in the beginning. Like, you know, that's just because, you know, she's a younger witch and she doesn't trust a lot of people, and which totally makes sense. And like I said, the ending, the twist was totally beyond what I would have anticipated, and I thought it was a pretty good twist, honestly. So I have no complaints with it. Really happy I gave it a read this reading vlog. I am going to cut the reading vlog off now simply because I realized that I have the September house checked out, and that is going to expire in a couple of days, and I'm like, oh, I have to read it. Like, that's one of my top reads for October. So I was like, I can put Everyone Knows Your Mother is a Witch on hold to read the September house, and you know, now it might be nice to like mix it up since I have read a few witch books back to back. So yeah, overall a pretty solid reading vlog. I enjoyed all of these books. The Glass Witch was absolutely freaking adorable, and I highly recommend it. Same with The Secret Society of Very Irregular Witches. I thought it was so cute, so wholesome. And The Year of the Witching was legit full-on intense witches, and I absolutely love that. And yeah, I just have no complaints with these books in this vlog. We really lucked out. Maybe it's because I just love witches so much, I don't know. But overall, a very good reading vlog. Thanks so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. I'm sure this is long. I always say I can definitely ramble, and I for sure do a lot of the times. So thank you so much for watching, and if you could like this video, that would help me a lot. And also, if you are new here and you haven't subscribed and you enjoy bookish content and reading vlogs and just seasonal content in general, please subscribe for future videos because I would love to see you here in the future. And yeah, thank you so much again, and I hope you have an amazing witchy spooky day.